Hi everyone, and I'm live again. Today's topic is forgiveness, and it's quite a topic again that we can discuss for ages. Actually, all the topics I'm covering are quite profound topics that you can discuss about for a long time, but you know that isn't my goal when doing these live videos. But as I said before, I cover these topics because these are topics that for a lot of people are kind of taboo, and there's a lot of weight on these themes, and that is because there's for a big part a lot of trauma involved, intergenerational trauma. And for the people that are watching and don't know me that well or not at all, I'm Melody, and I call myself an energetic interpreter and an intergenerational trauma healer. What my partner and I do is we support those, and especially what we call creative healers, to connect to their own core. And that's Kim. I see. I see tiny pictures of people that are attending live, but a lot of times I don't see at all who is attending. And right away after I finished the live video, I see that a lot more people attended than I could see. So again, and I'm saying it each time because when there are new people attending, I want them to know that I'm not ignoring you if I'm not interacting with you. It's just that I don't see it. Facebook doesn't indicate everyone that is attending, so that you know. But for the people who don't know me that well, a heart, wonderful. It's really wonderful to connect with you again, and to connect with people that I haven't seen for a long time, because Kim was I know her from high school, and it's been years and years that we've seen each other and really spoken to each other. But it's really wonderful if you're still connected on social media, and from time to time you speak to each other, and years later you connect with each other again in this way. That's really the wonderful thing of social media indeed. But indeed, for the people who don't know me, and also for people that I haven't seen for a long time and don't know what I'm doing yet, or didn't expect this from me. But what we do is we facilitate those, and especially what I call creative healers that have a mission and want to contribute to the greater good in their own unique and authentic way, to connect with their own core in indeed an authentic but also healthy, conscious and sustainable way. And I say but the word but isn't the right word, because when you're really going to your authentic core, then you will find eventually that you want to do everything in a healthy, conscious and sustainable way, because that is actually what and who you are intrinsically. For those who resonate indeed. I'm again in the car because we are quite busy, Ruud and I. I will show him again as well.
Hello.
And we are very busy, and we're actually in the midst of a serious breakthrough after years of hard work and commitment and building the foundation of what we do. But everything is really coming together right now at the same time, and so we're really busy from moment to moment, and I have the idea that quite some people really can't comprehend what our lives look like. Not at all. But we're really busy, we are busy 24/7, even in our sleep. And I've said it before, what people call dreams, what I also call journeys, when we're traveling to other spaces, other dimensions, so to say, we're also working. And we even remember the work we did in our so-called dreams. So we're really busy, and that is why I lately choose more and more to record live videos in the car as well, because I really truly do want to connect with you guys either way. Okay, so the topic that I'm speaking about is forgiveness, and I want to share with you what I feel about it and what my experiences are. And I do share what I have to say about all these topics, because first of all, there's the need, the want, that I share this with people. So that's the only reason I do it in the first place. If you disagree, that is okay. You don't have to agree with me on what I say or my experiences or what I share with my audience. If it doesn't resonate with you, that's okay as well. But I do this because people want this and have even said they need this. And since I was younger, a lot of people came to me with their life stories and asking for advice as well. And, wanting to speak about their life problems and, wanting a listening ear. But also they wanted and needed, and there still are many that want and need guidance. And who am I to, decline that? Who am I to let them, let them struggle when I know I can help them out, or I can facilitate them in things? And why should I let them struggle if I know that I have information, or that I know that I can, for example, comfort them in one way or another? It would be very, rude of me, and also very unempathic, if that is the right word, when I just let them struggle, while I know I can help them out, at least in that moment, and give some relief to them, which can help them on the rest of their journey, or that we can really solve a major problem for them together. And I actually think it's not only rude. Hey Hans, wonderful, I see that you're attending as well, thank you. And I feel like it's not only rude, but even a crime when I wouldn't respond to their call for help, or even a cry for help. And I've experienced that more, and I'm repeating it for those who don't know it yet. I've had many times that people said they were calling for help, they were even praying for help, and then when they did that, I called them, and there have been that really cried about that, I was there to respond to their need. And I feel like this should, quote unquote, should be like that in any way, that people feel that they're not alone in things. that they feel that they are supported when they need it. I felt like that since I was a little child. If I saw someone who had hard times, and especially a lot of the times they didn't believe in themselves, or are very shy and don't feel good about who they are because they have experienced a lot of things and situations and people who told them they aren't as good as they are. I always wanted to comfort them and let them know that they are good as they are, even as a little child, and that they can trust in life and also the higher harmless energies that are there, however you want to call them. If you believe in if you call it God, and if you believe in angels and guides, for example, or if you call it source or Allah or whatever you call it, it's all one and the same pure, harmless, source energy, I can say, or life force, or highest intelligence, whatever you whatever name you give it. So I have been doing this and wanting to do this to reassure people and to comfort them and support them in that way since I was a little child. Oh, wonderful. Heart again. Thank you very much. And when people are asking me nowadays why I do what I do, I really literally say that it's what I came here for. I can't imagine doing anything else because this is really what I came here to Earth for. So when we're going back to the topic, the theme of forgiveness, what I really want to share with you is that to me, forgiveness is something that has to be that people have to be really careful about. What I see is happening a lot is that people are speaking about forgiveness in a way that they actually communicate that you should, that you should accept everything anyone does. To me, that's not the case. People say a lot because they were told as well, and a lot of the times people are repeating what they were told, regardless of what they feel inside, because a lot of the time they don't feel it intrinsically that way, but they think they should feel like that. But when you're speaking about forgiveness, a lot of people say that you do it for yourself. And I agree with that as well. You do it for yourself in the first place, but also for others. But forgiving is something else than being a martyr and agreeing with and accepting, for example, abuse. There's a lot of abuse going on in the world since ages, but especially lately a lot is communicated about it and expressed about it. And I think that is a good thing. Finally, people are more open and dare to speak more about it because it's a real issue globally. And the reason this is so massive and has taken such a long time is because too much is and has been and is being accepted, and people are constantly, how do you say it, they're comforting know how to say it. They are behaving in a way that is actually constantly confirming of this kind of behavior of abuse. And that is, for the most part, because we were taught from generation to generation to do that. If you don't do that, you're bad, we were told. And what my opinion is in that is that, you know, I intrinsically and in the core forgive everything and everyone, initially or right away. But that doesn't mean that I accept all their behavior, and if it's really harmful for me, for others, but it's also always harming for themselves. When people are harming others, and then I especially mean deliberately, because this is what I'm talking about. When people don't mean to harm others, then I'm not speaking about that. But when they know that they're hurting others, when they know, when people have already expressed that to them, when they have already said, I don't like this, or whatever, either verbally or physically, how to say it, with body language or in any way, and they keep going on with their behavior, with their with hurting others, with harming others, then that isn't a good thing for themselves either. So harmful behavior is harmful for everyone and anyone, for the causer, him or herself, and for the greater good. And this is really important to realize. So when you accept this kind of behavior, you're actually accepting the greater good to be harmed. I don't say then you have to become a warrior right away or something. You don't have to jump in without thinking, without contemplating or reflecting on things. I don't ask you to do that, because that can be dangerous as well. But to mention an example, what I find quite interesting, because I wanted to speak about this topic already, but what we now hear a lot, and for those who don't know yet, but since a couple of days, a lot of news is going on about the Dalai Lama. And I've known this for years, that people were speaking about that he isn't that trustworthy as he seems to be. And there are a lot of things that come to the surface nowadays, and also things that you don't really know what is true and what isn't. But I've heard these things about him years ago already. But apart from that, before I knew this, or about anyone who does things that aren't that nice, I have always said, I don't believe in holinesses or something. I don't put people on a pedestal and believe everything they say and do. I think and feel for myself, and there's nothing and no one standing between what people call God and me. So I have this direct connection with God, and for me that is enough. That doesn't mean that I don't that I'm not open for advice or guidance for those who have some experience in life that I really, for example, need at a time. But I always also, connect with the source intrinsically and feel and detect what is the right thing for me and the greater good. For the people who don't know yet, I also always connect myself with the highest good. So this means, and it doesn't mean that it's always very fun and nice, etc. But at least I know that when some things happen and in the end things are turning out well, which I didn't know before, then I know indeed that it was in alignment with the highest good, and I didn't harm anyone deliberately. And although people might feel like, I don't like this the way it goes, because my intrinsic intentions are pure, and I'm not hurting or harming them deliberately, then I don't have to worry. And I also want to share that with you guys. If you aren't harming or hurting anyone deliberately, then you don't have to worry about anything. I do want to emphasize that it's very, very, very important to draw your boundaries and to take care of yourself and to stand up for yourself when needed. Even when at some point you really have to be very, very, very firm in it, because people have been crossing your boundaries time and again and again and again, while you have indicated it in many ways and time and again as well, and they keep crossing your boundaries. It's very important that you stand up for yourself, again, for yourself, for the perpetrator as well, and that you can also experience as forgiveness, and for the greater good. So forgiveness comes from, in my opinion, in my experience, from unconditional love. And again, unconditional love to me doesn't mean that you accept everything and that you're being a martyr and not drawing any lines, boundaries, and stand up for yourself or others as well, if you feel that is the proper way, thing to do. There are a lot of beings, and this is also what I want to share with you guys, why I do what I do and why I'm sometimes so expressive in what I share. What a lot of people don't realize is that there are many, many people that are really, at some points, they don't have any energy or courage anymore to continue in life. There are people that really want to take their own lives because of all the misery and all the bullying of others, and other people downright patronizing them, or thinking and saying like, oh, it isn't that severe, or it's not that bad. Well, it is. There are people that are actually, they don't know and see how they can continue in life anymore. So it's very important. And I feel like people could be more aware of this. And those who feel like this and have felt like this, please know that there is a solution. And I know that sometimes it feels like there isn't, but this is also what social media is good for. You know, you can, the world is big, you can connect with people internationally, and that can be the solution. If it's not in your surroundings, in your direct environment, you can always connect with other people internationally, globally, on the other end of the globe, so to say, and things can be resolved and healed. So if there are people that feel like, yeah, you shouldn't, you shouldn't share what you want to share, and people have to, figure it out for themselves. I totally agree that people have to take their own responsibilities, and that's what I've said from the beginning. I'm here to help people to be self-reliant, but it doesn't mean that you let people suffer, and that you can't lend them a helping hand to find the right way for them. Because if they don't see what you see, and you let them keep guessing about the way that can resolve their problems, and it might eventually even end in, what I said, for some people to take their lives. Well, it didn't have to be that way. You can never do any wrong with, how to say it, sharing the information you have, and that might help. And then, indeed, it's their choice what they want to do with it, and you can respect that. But if you feel like there is the slightest chance to, let them know that they're not alone, let them know that it's okay and that you're there for them, or that you can help them find the solution. If you aren't able to do it yourself, then someone else might, or some information you share with them might. And it could be, a miracle for them. What I also want to share at last is that the last couple of years, and I haven't experienced this before the way I have the last couple of years, because these circumstances in the world of the last couple of years have really had quite an impact on many people. But I also experienced that a lot of people closed off more and became more rude than before. But there are also a lot of others that on the contrary opened up totally and are connecting in a wonderful way. But I've also experienced the first, that people all of a sudden began to attack you because you are expressing things you've actually always expressed, but they all of a sudden feel like they should attack you for it. Verbally, but I sometimes feel that they would also do it physically if they could. But what I want to share with you guys is that when I am expressing that some kind of behavior I don't stand behind, when people are really literally harming other beings and really are wanting to take other people's lives, and especially not especially, also when it is on a big scale, and I don't stand behind that, and I express that in a neutral way or in a non-aggressive way. I have had people say more and more that they feel like that they think that I'm aggressive, and when I don't accept people wanting to take others' lives and want to control other people in a bad way, control other people in any way, because controlling others isn't a good thing at all. But when people are deliberately taking actions that are harming others, I don't agree with that. I don't accept it, and I do sometimes express that indeed. Just to let people know indeed that I don't stand behind it. And some of them have been really rude and didn't agree with me, and are actually putting those people that are very harmful to others, and also in massive ways collectively, they're putting them on a pedestal, and they're calling me aggressive. So even murderers and criminals, etc., some people put them on a lot of people actually put them on pedestals, but they call me aggressive for not accepting this kind of behavior. And I really have to laugh about it, because it's actually ridiculous. And these people know that I'm not aggressive at all. But when you're constantly indicating your boundaries time and again, year after year, and at one point you also express what you feel like, all the abuse that is happening collectively, you're just expressing it, and they call you aggressive. That's kind of strange. But it's okay, and here it comes. I forgive them for thinking like that when they don't know better or otherwise. But if they deliberately want to harm me and want to take me down and want to hurt me, or they hate me, or are feeling jealous of me, that's their problem, and I don't have to take it on me with quote unquote forgiving them. My partner and I always say forgiving is only possible when someone really really regrets it, what he or she has done, his or her behavior, and changes his or her behavior. Otherwise, why would you forgive at all? This is also a question that I really would like to ask you to really contemplate about. Is it always necessary to forgive? I feel it's not. There are people that I will never forgive for what they have done to me, because I was only caring even about them. But I had pure intentions, and I was caring, and then people have let me down, even people that I didn't expect it from at all have let me down. But also there have been people that started to, I could say, bully me for reasons that I still don't know, and I've asked them time and again. But if you're not able to tell someone why you're bullying them, then there's no reason, in my opinion. Why should you refrain the information that someone needs to, change how you're feeling if they are hurting you? Then it doesn't make sense. So there are some people that I will never forgive for what they have done, which doesn't mean that I hurt them or harm them, because I'm not taking over their responsibility for their behavior, for their choices, but I'm also not, putting this weight on myself. So it doesn't mean that if I don't forgive them for that behavior, I'm putting the weight on myself. And that is really the thing that I want to that people are aware of, because a lot of the times people say that if you don't forgive, you're putting all the weight on yourself, but that isn't necessarily true. And again, intrinsically and in the core, I'm forgiving everyone and anyone, but I'm not accepting any abuse at all. So it's up to themselves. And if they want to change their behavior, and then if they want to heal themselves as well, then they're welcome. But if they don't, or they keep going on with their harmful behavior, then I won't accept that. Okay, I think that I have covered everything I wanted to share with you guys. And of course, if you have questions about it, and if you want to discuss things with me, you're welcome. If it's in a mutual, respectful way, I'm always open for discussions about whatever topic. And if you feel like you need help, or there are others in your environment that you know that could use some help with this, Ruud and I have our own practices as well. We are always open for non-binding acquaintances and orientation goals and exploration, and we can always do single sessions or brainstorming. It can also be about other things that are much lighter, but that can really help you on your path in your daily life. It can be about overall well-being, physical health, mental, emotional, business-wise. If you have a mission and you really want to put it out there, you can really contact us. And when it's about deeper things, then definitely also you can trust us. And when there are traumas involved, you can definitely come to us and see what we can do for you, and otherwise we will help you in another way. So have no hesitation to contact me if this resonates with you, or you know someone who might need it, and then we can always find out what we can do. We also have trajectories, which means that is coaching consultancy for several weeks or months, or even for longer, a year or something. And we're also we are creating our online curriculum as well, which will come later as well, and you will definitely hear about that more. But if you're interested and want to know more beforehand, then definitely contact me. Okay, thank you all for attending, and if you're watching later, then please, when you're commenting, say that you're watching the replay. And I would say until next time, take good care of yourself, and don't put other people or beings on a pedestal too much, and don't believe that you're not holy yourself intrinsically, and that others are, and that you have to, blindly follow them, because that isn't true. That isn't the truth about yourself, and then you're not expressing your entire holistic whole being. Okay, again, thank you guys, and see you next time. Have a wonderful day, night, wherever you are.